welcome to the Morning Madness Crew. Yes, we are starting live with Technicolor, if you will. I'm our host, Dub. We got Darius, Mr. Lottie Daddy. We got Ron Thomas. We got Miss Carrie in the house. We are ready to talk football. Pretty much we're going to talk about whatever's on our mind. So buckle up, get ready. We going in right now. All right. And we're in. All right. Welcome, guys, to the show. And we are here. It is March 6th. I hope y'all are ready. We had a combine. We had John Cena turn heel, rock the world. And people are still talking about Travis Scott. Still, we don't know what the heck he was doing with the Sage and, apparently hitting people the hard way. Of that, without further ado, let's I did a brief introduction, but let's hear from the cast that you came to hear. We got Mr. Laddie Daddy himself. Mr. Laddie Daddy himself, Ladarius Brown. How's it going, brother?
Good morning. Thank you, Ron. I don't know if Carrie danced or not, but I'll assume that she did. And good morning, everybody. Oh, hey. Oh, okay.
Look at that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Superstar there.
Okay. I didn't know there was a concert. Hey,
I know. That is literally me. Sorry, that is me every time your music plays, Ladarius. When I'm on camera.
Let me write that down. Let me see. Book show at Kia Center. All right. I'm just
okay.
So now I know the vibe. But good morning, everybody, and to the chat.
Morning. All right. And then we got the hit man, the guy that will tell you what it is, Mr. Ron Thomas.
What's up?
What's up, Ron? The originator of F them keys. And of course, we have, hold on, I want to make sure I got this right. Let's play this for Miss Carrie. Got that smooth jazz. Miss Carrie, welcome to the show. How you doing, hon?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Always.
And no, we love having. Hey, we're a team. We're a family. This is what we do. So I'm glad we're all together again. All right, let's get into it. We have to talk about, this was the combine. So we got some questions about combine wise, but also let's talk about, some of these, we got some releases already happening. Guys have signed new contracts. By the way, congratulations to Saquon Barkley signing that big extension. You know what? If you carry a team to the Super Bowl, you deserve some money. How about that?
Yeah.
But what's so far not shocking, but what is something that you're seeing in these releases, in these, contract negotiations for the panel? And we haven't seen anything for the Falcons, and we're not going to just throw them under the bus just yet, but we're going to just, kind of go, what are we hoping to see? But as our starting icebreaker, who's the guy that kind of surprised you, or team that released someone or extended someone? We'll start with Ron, Carrie, then Ladarius.
I am surprised the Chargers released Nick Bosa because he was the face of their franchise or team, and I am very surprised about that. I didn't see that coming, not for a mile away, to be honest with y'all. And that's about it for me.
Okay. Miss Carrie, what about you, hon?
I would say that's a good one. I had heard rumors about Joey Bosa or my guy Khalil Mack getting released previously. So I was thinking Like that wasn't kind of on my radar that might happen. They might keep Khalil Mack now because hey, release both edge rushers, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll get into that later, but in regards to Nick Bosa possibly to the Falcons, I see a lot of people kind of liking that move. I'm curious to see what you guys think. For me, I honestly, most of the moves so far haven't been too shocking for me. It seems as if a lot of teams are getting rid of players that either are due a lot of money as far as a cap hit or maybe injury prone are getting up there in age. So I wasn't too surprised. I guess if I had picked someone, maybe I'd pick Tyler Lockett for the Seahawks, just
Mm.
because they don't have a lot of weapons there. And I mean, he's been with the team, I think, 10 years, 10 seasons, I believe.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, he's a big face of that franchise. I think he holds the second all time in franchise history with receptions, yards, and touchdowns. So, yeah, he's been with the team a long time. I guess if I had to pick, I would say Tyler Lockett.
Okay.
Mm.
And of course, the one, the only, Mr. Laddie Daddy, Ladarius Brown. What say you, man? What's icebreaker of the day? What you thinking?
I'm gonna stick to what Carrie talked about, but I'm gonna go DK Metcalf asking for a trade. I find it to be very interesting, given they're getting rid of they're releasing Tyler Lockett. It feels like the Seahawks, and listen, they had a great season, almost made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that DK Metcalf wants out, now it kind of changes. Teams that if you need a legit the wide receiving market in terms of trades look very interesting with Devontae Adams. Now you add throw in DK Metcalf, or Christian Kirk was cut from Jacksonville. So to me, how the wide receivers are going to move this offseason be very, very curious. Because we saw one move with Deebo Samuel going to the Commanders. So I'm curious to see what other moves are going to be left, because DK asking for a trade is shocking, but not all that shocking given the rumors around Geno Smith. So
Yeah. I will say, for me, I'm very the DK Metcalf that threw me off, but yet I understand it's a business, folks, and these guys want to make sure they have the most impact. I get it, and that's kind of how it goes. Now, my question or the thing I'm looking at is what is the goal for the team? What are they expecting? What are they wanting? Um, a guy that got extended was Max Crosby. So
Ooh.
yeah, so and they released not just Desmond Ritter, which we can make the joke on, but we'll be nice to Desmond today. But also Gardner Minshew. So that means they're literally clearing out their quarterback room. So they've obviously got Pete Carroll has a plan with his quarterback room. We'll figure that out as we go on, but I just think you're looking at these teams, and when it comes to, let's go ahead and jump on what Carrie was wondering. Carrie, you were wondering about Nick Bosa. What do you think
Yeah,
for the Falcons?
yeah, I'm kind of curious what you guys think. I've been seeing a lot of talk out there on social media about Falcons fans kind of interested in Nick Bosa.
Okay.
Interested to see what you guys think. Yes, he's a vet. Yes, he's, a multi-time Pro Bowler. For me, he's very injury prone, and I can tell you the last time he played a full season, maybe 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think he had 5 sacks last season. Personally, he wouldn't be my first pick, but maybe you can get him on a cheap deal. What do you guys think?
Okay. All right, Ron, Ladarius, and then I'll answer. Yeah, let's go around on that one. Ron, go ahead.
Me personally, like I told C Dub, I would give him a box of Twix. I mean, he cannot stay healthy to save his life. He is a good pass rusher, but the problem is it him or is it the Chargers? Why he cannot stay healthy? I mean, something got to give. You cannot ask for top money and you just play half of seasons for what? Maybe 9 years? Is that? I mean, you cannot ask for top money and your body don't hold up for the whole season. So,
yeah. All right, Ladarius, what say you, brother?
I think we're talking about Joey Bosa, I believe.
Yeah, Joey Bosa.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Health is a concern, but the issue, my whole thing is this: I think if you get a healthy Joey Bosa, I think that's better. I think, given his age, I wouldn't have a problem with pursuing him, but that also brings up like Khalil Mack. We got to understand that this Chargers defense was pretty good last season, and the fact that they were comfortable with letting go of a guy like Joey Bosa, and willing to, and particularly early on, letting go of Khalil Mack, it lets you know how, like, respectfully, they're great, but we can find other dudes. And now you put them out on the market. It's curious to see what the market value is, especially for Joey Bosa, for Joey and for Khalil. But if I was the Falcons, look, defense is obviously a needed to address. I would see how it plays out between now, free agency, and we get to the draft, because Joey Bosa is going to find a job. I think Khalil Mack's going to find a job. But it's all about, what does Joey Bosa want? Penultimately, what kind of deal is he looking for? He's looking for a 1 year, 2 year deal. Because listen, 9 seasons. I mean, we got to look what kind of deal he's looking for, especially for Khalil, who's closer to retirement than he is. And he may have a monster season, but I'm curious to see what the market value before we pursue him and clear up our own cap situation as well.
Yeah. And then also, so here's my thing. For us, I'm going to say no, because if we get him, we're going to need to use him as the primary pass rusher. Okay. Now, what would be best for Joey Bosa? Go to San Fran, go to Buffalo, even Baltimore. Basically, go somewhere where you can actually rotate, and it's not just all about what you do.
well,
Here's another team. The Eagles will probably want to, get another pass rusher, because you can never have enough. So I think if you look at it that way, that's how you get the most bang for your buck with Joey Bosa. For us, we're needing guys that can make plays. And it's nothing against Joey, but like we all just said, he's injured a lot. Is it a Charger thing? Is it a Charger thing? Is it a Bosa thing? And here's the other thing. Is it a curse thing? Maybe the Chargers are just the team that's cursed like the Mavericks are. So we'll discuss that later. But no, that's really good. Guys, before we go into the debate, is there any other questions y'all have that you wanted to ask us before we start?
yeah. Me and you been talking about the pass rushers
Okay, yeah.
in the draft.
Yep.
If 2 pass rushers got a little bit messed up background, I would say
Okay.
that.
All right.
Mike Green,
Mm-hmm.
they said Mike Green messed with a female, got in trouble, but he didn't ever go to jail. Cool.
Okay.
They said James Pierce, he don't like nobody to teach him he don't listen, basically.
Or that's the word that's going around.
Right, the rumors, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if they the only 2 on the board, who will y'all take? That's what I want to know.
All right. Before y'all answer, I'm gonna also do this. We're gonna bring this into our debate now, because that question actually leads to one of my the first one. What issue would make you not want to draft a player, and why? So let's go ahead and answer Ron's question, and then you can also answer that one too. So we'll start with Carrie, Ron, and then Ladarius, and then I'll answer Ron's question after Ladarius. Go ahead, Carrie.
So basically, Ron, your question is, Who would I rather have out of those two?
Yes.
I mean, I think Pierce might fall to the second round, to be honest. I'm not really sure, but I've read that he's not coachable either.
Right.
Here's the thing. I would take Mike Green because as far as we know, he's an innocent man. He was never proven guilty. But
Right.
here's the other thing. I'm not drafting, the Falcons are, so all I know is they're not going to touch either one if they have any kind of character concern. That's just not how the
Mm-hmm.
Falcons operate.
Mm-hmm.
But good news for us as Falcons fans is this is a defensive heavy draft. There's bound to be still a guy like Jahad Campbell on there, top corner out of LSU. Like there's still going to be players.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Are you there, Carrie? She got muted, but
Can you still hear me?
okay, we can hear you now.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
I was getting a call coming through, so I had to cancel that. But no, but yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the Falcons, unfortunately, will take a chance on anyone with character concerns if we go based off of history.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. But the good news is, like I said, there's going to be plenty of talent there. It's not like we have no quarterback and there's only two top quarterbacks, so
Right.
we're kind of screwed. I feel like we're in a very good situation.
Okay. Ladarius, what say you, bro?
Well, I'm gonna use my criminal justice degree here. I don't get to use it obviously when we're talking about sports, so I'll flash it here. When we talk about character, when we talk about certain issues, and a part of what Kerry said was true in a very defensive draft. It kind of eases the concern because you can focus your attention elsewhere. But what I will say is this: character. It all depends on the situation. I think from a legal aspect, this is very important. Like Kerry said, innocent. Yeah, the innocent till proven guilty. But another element is we need to know the circumstance. We need to know everything. And these teams are going to hire the right people, investigate. They're going to find out because at the end of the day, we're talking. There's a difference between first round money and second round money. There's a huge difference. If you're the Falcons or if you're any franchise, you're going to look into it. Now, what I'm saying in that same vein, like the Mike Green situation, even it doesn't help. Because listen, we don't know if he's guilty. Because like I said, the criminal justice guy in me says, hey, innocent till proven guilty. It's the same thing I said about when Deshaun Watson till it came out, like, okay, this guy looks pretty guilty.
Yeah.
So based on, after some point you can figure out if X amount of people are saying the same story, there might be some truth to it. Same thing with the Justin Tucker situation. But shifting back to the concept of this draft, I think it's very important to understand is that it really depends on the circumstances, and people understand. Like, there are teams that are willing to overlook certain things. Like, the Eagles took Jalen Carter despite all the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they were focused on Jalen Carter, the football player. Now, we can argue semantics and say, oh, well, maybe because sometimes we have to look at when they did their research, and they looked in and they saw something that made them go, okay, we don't like what he necessarily did, but we're not going to punish him for the rest of his life.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, there are certain circumstances where, there's some players that are completely undraftable. If you can't, if I think it was mentioned on here, uncoachable. When you hear words like uncoachable,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to fall in the draft. But if it's certain from a legality perspective, we have to know all the facts before we make judgments.
Yeah.
Well,
And so that's where I say, with certain franchises, like I keep using Deshaun Watson, where they knew the information and they yet gave this man a fully guaranteed contract. That's what makes the contract look stupid. It's because you knew the information and you like, oh, well, maybe forget, like the court could say that you're innocent, but you're still guilty in the court of public opinion. So that to me, when we look at this combine, that's going to be the telltale. How do these teams feel? Are there, even though the legal system may have cleared them, how do they feel in the court of public opinion? So that's my 2.5 and 3 cents.
All right. To answer Ron's question first, if I had to make my choice, I'm actually making the choice off production and what I've saw on the field. And I would actually go based off that. I would actually kind of look at it like the Eagles do. Can this guy play for my team? And can he make plays for me? All right. I like the idea of James Pierce. And if he falls to the second, man, I'm going to go here. Someone's making a mistake because I'm going to go here. He was uncoachable, they're saying. Did he play the whole season? Yeah, he did.
Yes.
And my thing is this. If he falls to the right team, guarantee you with the right coaching, I don't know, maybe Pittsburgh, they will make sure and get the most out of him. So that is how I believe teams who say, we have a culture. You have no culture. We have a losing culture. That's what we are. And I always laugh. We have we have a high morals, a high ground. Okay, what's that won you? Nothing. You got a bunch of choir boys. You got to shake it up sometimes. And look, I just want guys that can play and that can make the difference when we need to make plays. Let's get some comments here real quick. Since the Chargers released Bosa, do you think Brady will be let go? I don't know, man. I've been going back and forth. Part of me says you got to go ahead and cut him. One part says restructure. I don't know, guys. What do y'all say? Carrie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, my thing is they cut Joey Bosa because he's injury prone and it saved them $25.3 million against their cap. So they're making cap space. They need a wide receiver one. Yeah, to me, that was a business decision. It made sense. He is probably one of the best Chargers ever, but it was, a business decision. Grady, there's ways around the business decision with Grady. He can extend his contract and restructure. And for me, I have full faith that Grady's willing to do that because for me, I feel like him and his family are the face of Atlanta. What he does on the field, off the field. I just feel like the Falcons, he's one player that if he wants to retire a Falcon, they'll make it happen. So for me, we could save space on our cap by extending and restructuring Grady. So for me, I don't think it's going to happen. Honestly, I would be very surprised if Grady was not a Falcon next season.
All right. What say you, Ron?
I would use a part of me said kill him, a part of me say restructuring, and I understand where Miss Carey coming from. He is the face of Atlanta Falcons. When you talk about the Falcons, he might be the first or the third name that come up. So,
yeah, I got you. All right. What say you, Ladarius?
You're coming eating a Pop-Tart. I apologize.
It's all good, brother.
Can we know the flavor, please?
It's a strawberry.
Nice.
Oh,
good choice. I like strawberry. Good choice.
Strawberry or cherry are the acceptable answers.
Yeah.
Almost bought the variety box, but it had the cinnamon. I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, I know. I hate when they do that. It's like, come on, give me a good third flavor.
I like a cinnamon roll, but not cinnamon flavored puff.
Wait, sorry, cinnamon?
Now is pretty good, though.
I have to ask, is it just straight cinnamon? Because I don't think I've had that one. Or is it the brown sugar cinnamon?
I think either one. I'm not interested in either one.
Oh, okay. I like the brown sugar cinnamon.
I think the variety one, I think it was the cinnamon. Like I could deal with brown sugar. I wouldn't like it, but I can deal with it.
Okay. Sorry, not to get off track.
Oh no, you're good.
Just
you're
had
good.
to know.
Every time to clear up the strawberry. To answer the question, I think it's like this. For a guy like Grady Jarrett, I think quite frankly he's just frustrated, and I think that's where you're getting all of this stuff coming out. He's a long time. He's the type of player that deserves to retire as a Falcon. I would find it hard to believe that they would let him walk out the door. He's the type of guy. If you talk to him, his agent, they'll restructure the deal. I think you just can't let a guy like Grady walk. Like you could, but there's got to be a way. Restructuring, I think, is the way to go because you need a veteran presence on that defensive line, whether we want to admit to it or not.
Mhm.
And
Good point. Good point.
so letting Grady go would kind of feel like a full reset. Like there needs to be a reset on the front seven, but not a complete reset. Grady's the anchor of that line, and you need his veteran presence. I would just try to find a way to restructure. Like letting him go. Yeah, does it save money? Sure, but restructuring also can save money as well from a
Right.
pecuniary perspective.
That's a great point.
Yeah. I guess my thing is this: Grady's a great player. I like him, and I just think eventually you got to work something out that works for both sides. And if he says he wants to go, then you let him go. But if not, try to work something out. Look, you can save some money if you restructure. So I mean, that's that. The DL from Michigan, Mason. Apparently, he's hitting his inner tonsil. There's a photo that went viral. Here's what I'm gonna say. When it comes to that, weed has become, almost acceptable now. So I don't even know how a team would look. I mean, honestly, I don't even care. Can you play? That's all I ask.
Right.
Can you when Sundays come around? Can I count on you to show up? Now, if you can't show up because you got high, well, guess what? That ain't my fault, bro. Now I don't want you on my team.
Right.
But I will. I'm just saying that on that level. Now, let's see. Now let's go to that question. Now, let's see. Carrie, I know it's getting close. Do you want to go ahead and do your rant, or are you good to hang with us? Because I don't want you to be late for your thing.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna be there at 10:48, so I have about 5 more minutes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's hit this one, and then we'll let Carrie do her thing. All right. So, what issue, if you were drafting what would be the issue that would make you go, I can't have this guy on my team? All right. So the choice is now yours. What is the one thing that you just can't wrap your head around and go, I know my team's this, but I don't want this kind of person on my team? We're going to go to Carrie, then Ron, then Ladarius. So let's go, Carrie.
I mean, to be honest, there's like there's so many things on. I don't know. Really, to keep it brief, just in general, just any kind of off the field issue. I know that's being very generic, but I mean, anything that could
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's multiple things like sexual assault. Yeah, like that's gonna be an issue. Legal troubles. Maybe they have problems with getting along with other players. They're, fighting, arguing. I don't know, any kind of toxic behavior, I guess you could say, that might cause problems on the field or even in the locker room between the players. I know I completely get the whole sentiment of like we need to draft take a chance on good football players that maybe have the off the field issues. I agree, but at the same time, I do understand why the Falcons operate the way they do. They look for the guys that are going to be good in the community. They don't want to tarnish the image of the organization. I recently saw a list of all the players, like how many players have been arrested per team. And I think the Falcons were at the very bottom with only 4, if I remember correctly. So I don't know. To keep it short, there's a lot of things really, but just any off the field issues. Personally, I understand why they don't want to touch that.
All right, Ron, what say you, brother?
I will, Terry, Millie in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put that comment up.
If you got a criminal or background, if you went to jail or got arrested, I don't want that in the locker room.
True. Okay.
But a part of me said, just take a chance. The
Right.
reason I've been winning in 7 years, something got to change. So I'm divided in the middle
Okay.
of both of them.
I know it's tough.
Okay. Before I let Ladarius go, so I just got news. So apparently, the Falcons are not going to tender D. Alford, so he is now an unrestricted free agent now.
Okay.
So there you go. There.
We might
Go
still
ahead,
bring him
Derek.
back, right? Sorry,
Huh?
go ahead. I was saying maybe
If
we
he
could
was
still bring him back.
if he was restricted, they could bring him back. But I think they're just saying, look, let's see if anybody wants you. If they want him, he can go anywhere,
Oh, okay.
or they can
Okay.
come get him later on. But yeah,
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead,
no, you're
Ladarius. My
fine.
bad.
Go ahead,
I
Ladarius.
didn't see that yet.
Yeah, it just popped. So
To me, it's simple. I'm looking at it from a pure NFL perspective and in my personal perspective. Character does matter. You could be an average football player but have excellent character, and that can do wonders. But when we're talking like high end guys, we're looking at maybe top 10, 15 guys. I have to look a little bit closer at the character. And quite frankly, does the talent outweigh the issues that they went off the field? Because simply put, there's not everybody's a choir boy, and I think that's important to consider. But from that perspective, I'm looking for guys who I don't want to hear the words uncoachable. I don't want to hear the words lazy. I don't want to hear anything that I feel can be a deterrent to our team's success. Now, I use the Jalen Carter as an example here because listen, whatever his talent superseded whatever he went through at Georgia, and teams were willing to overlook it because a part of me, I'm a big believer in second chances. Third chances depends who you are, but overall, I'm just looking at a situation where I just want guys who character, like I said, character matters. But if the talent outweighs the issues, I still take them because we're not all perfect. I think the human element matters. Like the football side absolutely matters, obviously, when you're drafting. But it's the human. We're all human beings. We're all prone to make mistakes. But it's the severity of the mistake that I will focus on. Because if we're talking like I think Carrie mentioned like sexual assault with battery, like to me those are huge red flags. Given first of all, first and foremost from a legal perspective that you might get some time, and then secondly, like women make up a vast majority of the fan base and pretty much every team in the NFL. So it's about character, and the turnoff would be if your character and your talent, if there's an unbalance, where your character off the field is negative to the point where like it just overrides your potential, I can't take it. So
okay. I'm gonna. Sterling Woods here said it's crazy how all this comes out after the combine, and I agree. A lot of this stuff does come out of after the combine, and I don't like that part necessarily because you have to siphon if it's BS or if it's legit, and I think that just puts scrutiny on a guy that doesn't need it when you're trying to prepare to become something. For me, yes. If it's legit crimes or something that just, like Ladarius said, the uncoachable, the lazy. But for me, uncoachable is when someone doesn't finish a year. That's what I think uncoachable is. I don't want to hear, well, he played through the whole year. There's no discipline action. They never showed that they, made him, do stuff because he was so uncoachable.
What?
So that's why I don't look at James Pierce as, oh, he's so uncoachable. Where's the proof? And then when I hear stuff about not just Pierce, but when I hear about Mike Green, folks, I'm going to go here. I've seen it where someone has been accused of rape, and they never did it, and they actually had to have people come in to to basically say, look, this person was with me.
Right.
And the school wanted to suspend the person still. And I'm going, and it's very real. And so stuff has happened like that. And for me, when it comes to it, you have to have a very good investigation team, and you've got to have a really good scouting team. And not only that, last I checked, you also got to have a good coaching staff that can work with the guys too.
Right.
It's called development. The Eagles took Jalen Carter. He has the talent. What did you do next? You put him on a team next to guys that were veterans also, as well as his teammates. And then not just that, you put around him guys that were thinking of him first. So,
Right.
okay. Oh, Carrie, go ahead and say goodbye, because you are there. And if you want to have a little rant, you can still, but go for it, hon.
No, I don't really. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. This has been awesome. Sorry I can't stay the whole time. I appreciate you guys accommodating me and my schedule today. But yeah, I just got to a work meeting and I appreciated everything. And hopefully we hear these Falcons do something. That's my little rant. I would love to see them do something, whether it be restructures, releases, signings, what have you. So hopefully we hear something. Monday is the first day, this coming Monday, that they could really start, tampering, if you will. So
Right.
hope everybody has a great day. Thank
Right.
you, guys.
Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Follow
Bye.
Carrie
Yeah.
at Carrie, Lynn XOXO at X. So she always comes up with some great stuff. Guys, it's just us now. The three amigos. So now here we go. What do you think is let me go ahead and back up because there were some comments here that kind of were funny here. So let's see here. We already got to that from Millie Mills. What's up, Millie? We have the brown sugar Pop-Tart, a good too. That's what Millie says. I don't want another lazy MFer.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy that all just comes out in the before the or after the scouting combine, which,
Right.
look, I think there's some merit to. But yeah, I kind of am like y'all. I just go, damn, we really got to do that. So,
Right.
So here's a question. What do y'all think is more valuable in the scouting process? Is it the workout? Is it the private workout? Is it the combine? Or is it production from their college year? We're going to go to Ron, and then we're going to go to Ladarius. And look, you can combine it too. So it's not like you have to pick one or the other. But I wanted to know if you had to beat the formula of how you evaluate a player, what do you look at more?
What he did at his school, what they did at their school. Is they a top pass rusher? Did they get 17, 18 sacks? I would take that any day of the week. If you lazy, I cannot mess with you. I can't. They're not my job to motivate you and be paying you so much money every year. You should want to motivate yourself to get better, in my opinion. So that's what I got for you.
Okay. What about you, Ladarius? What say you?
I look at the private workouts because you get that one-on-one. You get to see as opposed to say the combine, where it's him and everybody. It's them and everybody else. I want it if there's a player or players I'm really focused on. I want that private workout because I want to see obviously their skill set, and B, I just want to see how they can fit into whether our offensive scheme or our defensive scheme. Because that private workout to me is very important. The combine is very important for the measurements, for the how fast are that's always important. But those private workouts, you get to see everything that you essentially want to see them do in college. And sometimes previous things in college they work, but to me, I factor that in with saying, well, who did you play against? Like who were your opponents? Because listen, I'm not going to sit there and start a conference war But like, look, I need to see who you play for, because to me, the production and that private workout, it lets me know. So I need to see with my eyes. I need to see what you can do. I know what the combine says. I know, but your production at your school is. But I need to see that private workout. It's just me and you, and we're going over stuff on the field, off the field. Like, hey, is there, especially if you're a quarterback? I love quarterbacks. Can you make the reads? Can you make the throws? Can you understand the playbook that you're going to potentially deal with? Can you understand the playbook and the terminology and the language? Because those are things that are important to me. Because you can have all the physical assets, but can you handle the playbook? And it's not a knock on those things it's just for me personally. Can you if I give you the playbook, you study the playbook, can you handle it? Because on the film, I can see you can make all the throws. I can see you can do all of that. But that one-on-one private workout, it lets me get a chance to show, here, can you do this? Can you throw a screen? Can you throw a simple out, a go? Can you throw a slant? If possible, what can you do? Can you make audibles? That, to me, the private workout is important. Scouting, the combine is just to show me the numbers and what you can do agility-wise. But that could also kind of show off in the film and in the production as well. So to me, I'm big on. So.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, man. I mean, I was.
Oh no, you're good. No, I know. I was reading Millie's.
Me too.
I guess he was trying to say. I think he was trying to say facts. Because if you're stupid, then you're stupid. I need to know exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly it. I need to know that one-on-one private workout. I need to know, because the combine can tell me your numbers and how it can jump off the chart. But I need to see. I need to be there to see. If I give you a play to run, can you run it off the playbook? Can you throw the passes? Can you run the routes? Can you get off the edge? Can you do the so basically what Millie Mills is saying, listen, I need to know I don't want to say smart enough, but are you capable enough? I'll try to clean up what Millie says. Millie's right though. Millie's not wrong in what he's saying. I just want to see, can you clean it up? And like, what is it workable? Is it coachable? If you make a mistake here and there, cool. But if you just don't know the playbook, I can't take it. Despite your intangible.
Okay. Look, let's see. Let's go through the comments because Millie's been going through. So we got Sterile, I guess, or Wood. I'm trying to figure out how to say this person's name. I don't want to be
Sterling or Sterling. Sterling.
Sterling. Okay. So is Darius Slay an option for the Falcons? You know what? It like Ron/April here said, if he's cheap, possible. I kind of agree with you, Ron, on that one. Production, scouting, combine, it's just checking the boxes off sheet. Film is key. Yeah. But yeah, Ladarius. Great one hit there for Millie Mills. Nah, lad, ain't no sugarcoating. Just say it.
No, yeah. Millie's the guy who speaks for me. I say certain thing, and he just says it's like Key and Peele. He just says,
yes.
Yeah, that's Millie.
That's Millie. He didn't.
Yeah, that would be Millie. I try to be diplomatic. Millie said we're not going there. So
let me explain to you. No, he did. All right, so look, I gotta say it like this. I think production is always key. You got to see what the film tells you. But then I like the idea. I like how a private work. It's like this. If the private workout is dictated by the team, then let's do that. But if it's dictated by the player, I'm still like, okay, this is kind of slanted to your. It's like it's going to get slanted either way.
Right.
And the combine, I just seen too many guys that come out of nowhere. Oh, they're the fastest. Okay, what did he do when he played? Oh, wait a minute, he played a 4-year career at Texas A&M. and only got 4 sacks. What?
Yeah,
How?
no.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And then people go, "Well, he's a first-round pick." Huh? So, yeah, I'm talking about a certain Stewart.
Right.
But
No.
yeah, and I'm just like,
No.
I saw that, and that was just, it's like someone says, if you pick him, just admit it, you're just getting Mike Mamula. So,
Yeah.
and if you don't know who Mike Mamula is, well,
You need to do your football research.
Yeah, because that boy was the MVP of the scouting combine and was the biggest flop in Philadelphia. And I don't even think he went anywhere else after that, or he probably did, but it wasn't anywhere. He didn't have success. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's talk about our Falcons. There have been many times we have been expecting one position or one person to be drafted, and then we hear a name that we don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Michael Penix. The year before was Jalen Carter or Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
The other year before, so there's been years where we felt that way, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to play that card. What position would make you angry if we draft in the first round, and why? We're going to go to Ron, because Ron has been the victim of this many of times. And then we'll go to Ladarius. Ladarius, trust me, Ron has been through it when it comes to this part.
See, you hit on something that I wanted Jalen Carter. You the as Travis, Henry, you the as Nate.
We can ask the Birdcage because they wanted him.
Right. You the as Dennis Holmes. Shout out to my co-host on Talk Your Ears. I wanted Jalen Carter. I was pissed. Because I know what he brings to the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
And we needed a D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And soon they said Bijan Robinson, I was like, I flipped the lid. I was like, who the fuck? And I was talking to Nate and Travis and Dennis. When we picked Bijan Robinson, I was like, what the hell? I lost it.
You lost your religion.
Right. I lost everything inside me that point in time. But now I understand it. Do I like it? No. I still don't like it, but it is what it is. We here now. We better not draft no wide receiver.
Okay.
At 15. We better not draft no wide receiver at 15. I will lose my religion. This time ain't no coming back for me this time. Ain't no coming back for me.
You still got to stay on the show, Ron. So guess what? We got to work something out.
If we draft a tight end at 15 or a wide receiver at 15, I lose him. That's it. That's it. But,
and Ron, I know people don't believe, because Ron has a hard time, speaking his mind and has a hard time speaking from what his heart says. But he's serious about this, folks.
I'm dead serious. We need to go straight pass rush. DE, in my opinion.
DE, linebacker, or corner. I'll live with, but I don't want to see. Yeah, I got you. All right. Ladarius?
I guess I got to bring the calm to the storm. I don't know. That was Ron Thomas talking about some stuff. Now let's go to the cool side of the pillow. A little Kenny Lattimore to take you through the rush hour. No, I would avoid the skill positions. Because Ron kind of tipped my hand with one of my factor fiction questions. I'm not going to say which one, but we'll get the same answer. So I'm equally looking forward to that. But I think specifically, stay away from tight ends, stay away from running back.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that. Look, even quarterback, like those are the three obvious ones. But I would also kind of, depending on, listen, the needs on defense. You could get away with getting a receiver, but don't make it a top. Make it like your second to last or final pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be like a guy you would think for special teams. So, and there is, what need is deepest in the draft? Well, the defensive line specifically, you could go interior or edge. I feel is deep. I will put deep. I would put secondary kind of in that same conversation. It's just that if this was the year you're looking for a quarterback and you're not in the top 5 of the draft, you're out of luck. You're really out of luck.
Yes.
Unless you feel strongly about Jackson Dart, then or Quinn Ewers, or Jalen Milroe. Like if you really feel strongly about him, hey, cool. But like I said, the combine, private workouts was all. But to go back to answer the question, I want to go back to that really quick with Ron, with Bijan. I may be in the minority in this, but I don't have a problem with it in retrospect, because without Bijan, we would be still like a 7-10 football team. I understand drafting running back when it's between him and Jalen Carter. I understand why people are upset. I'm fine with it in retrospect because of the way that how he impacts our offense. Bijan has essentially was our offense for the most part. When Kurt was doing Kurt things, Bijan was still doing Bijan things, which kind of got us in the mix.
Yeah.
Now, should we have gotten Jalen Carter? Sure. Well, the thing is, Millie, we just didn't have a decent quarterback, and that's why I say we were 7-10 with him. That's because we didn't have a quarterback. I guess I'll rephrase it this way: it would have been worse than 7-10 if we didn't have Bijan. I'll put it that way. And now that we did have like when Kirk Cousins was doing that struggling, Bijan kind of came through. Like I understand what Millie Mills was saying. It's just that you have to get the quarterback position right, no matter who's in the backfield. Like as much as people want to talk about, how Jalen Hurts, like as great as Saquon is, Jalen Hurts had to do his job. That's exactly what he did.
Well,
like you can't circle around that. So we got that guy in Penix. So stay away from quarterback, stay away from tight end, stay away from running back. In my opinion, receiver you can get away with the back end of the draft. And like I say, retrospect, the Bijan pick looked bad on draft night, but it looked good, especially this season. Like we did go 7-10, but we would have been worse than 7-10 without Bijan. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. I mean, look, for me, I'm going to just answer it like this. I don't want to see quarterback, or better not see quarterback, better not see a running back. I don't want to see a wide receiver. Offensive line, I'll forgive you because I can understand. But again, just get defense. It ain't going to kill you. This is where you have so many spots on defense to fix. It would be better to just draft a spot that you could plug somebody. And look at what you've drafted before. That's the other thing. Troy Anderson is also a bad pick because he's like what we talked about with Joey Bosa, can never be on the field. And he was supposed to be the most, athletic. He was supposed to be able to can handle, these versatile tight ends. We can't get him on the field. So I'd rather get a guy that's going to be on the field. So we'll go more into that later. But I mean, I just say just get someone from defense. Don't play around. Don't get cute. No need to go off. I saw a thing that aggravated me because and I think Berto even posted it. Shouts out to Berto, the godfather of the wrestling shows and the Morning Madness crew. Because Berto has brought a lot of us together. But what's great about what he showed was they had one of the rookies to draft alongside Drake London. And Berto's comment was beautiful. He goes, "Did we just forget that Mooney plays on the other side?"
Right.
Let's not just throw the bathwater. The man's got a controllable contract. He's trying to, get people to not jump off the building here. And I agree. You signed Mooney. That's why I say don't worry about a receiver. I mean, did you not see the list of free agent receivers that are out?
Yeah.
Devontae Adams did get released, by the way, from the Jets.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's a free agent. But my thing is this: when you see the top names, you got to look at the names in the middle because those are the guys that typically make better impact. I wouldn't mind a Tyler Lockett on our team.
All right.
And a guy that, give me a burner. That's all we need if you really want to, push it that way. So we'll talk about that later on. But all right. So that was the question there. Now, if you're a GM, you're about to make the pick, or do you take? You're drafting at 15. Are you going to pick at 15, or are you going to be willing to trade down? So let's go to my panel. Ron, what say you?
It depends who will give me what I want to trade down. If you give me what I want, I will trade down.
Okay.
If you're not giving me what I'm looking for, we cannot even talk. I will stay put.
Gotcha.
That's how I look at it. And especially if the Georgia players, the SEC players, there at 15, I don't got no problem drafting one there. But if you're not giving me what I want, don't even call me. I will be rude with you. I'll be like, oh, you just offer me a 6th round? Nah. Bye. Click. Deuces. You gotta give me what I'm looking for. A 3rd, a 2nd, or a 4th and 5th. We the talk then. But
they got to give you something. That's all you're trying to say. Yeah.
Right.
You know what you want. I got you. That's fair. All right, Ladarius, what say you, man?
I'm liking what Millie is saying. For me, I would look if I can get a player at that position later in the draft, I would definitely trade down. In a draft where I feel I need more depth to add at defense, like he mentioned Green, Pierce, and Walker. Those are 3 guys, and there could be other names depending on who's available at 15. If I feel that they can either still be available there if I drop, or somebody of a similar caliber of that position is there, I would listen. I would obviously swap first rounders, and depending like Ron said, I can't say it the way Ron says it obviously, but if the deal makes sense for me to trade down, I'd make it. If knowing that if I can get a few more picks in the draft and maybe potential one next year, yes, I will consider trading down to kind of fulfill the needs that I need, because knowing that our money situation is not ideal, that's the route I will go unless we restructure and do things of that nature.
Okay. I gotcha. Look, I'm trading down. If I can, it's like this. I got to at least try to get what I need. And I want to try to get, it's like you said, this draft is deep. So I need to try to exploit that. I need to try to get at least a couple of picks in the 2nd, a couple of picks in the 3rd. So if I can get, work a couple of trades, I'm all up for it, and that would be my goal. I would try to get at least a couple each go round, and just kind of use my first round as, hey, I'll get my guy or find somebody, but I'm going to get somebody, because you got to remember, people are going to drop when, and we won't understand why. You may Pierce might be there when you trade down. He may be available. So I think a lot of things just have to go depending on what you're doing in the draft and stuff. So, all right, let's see here. We've got a different kind of question to end our wonderful debates, because we do a lot of NFL, but we can bring NBA into this, and also NBA inspired this, because if you haven't saw, the Mavericks have basically stepped on the old saying, don't step on a crack, break your back. Well, apparently they stepped on everything.
Wow.
Nico Harrison may be the greatest. Luckily for him, John Cena turned heel, because he's still the biggest heel in Dallas. Now, if those edge guys, but Johnson and Stark are there, what do you do then? Oh, shoot it. You're talking about Malachi Starks? Shoot, if Malachi Starks is there, I'm taking him. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know who Johnson is. But do you guys do?
I think is he talking about the corner Will Johnson from Michigan?
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad.
That got his second hip surgery. So,
Will did?
huh?
Did you say Will got a second hip surgery?
Yep.
Huh.
He got one in high school and one in college. So,
like I said, if I can have my choice, I'd probably go with Malachi, just because of the fact with Jesse Bates.
yeah.
We're going to try to want to keep him also, but if not, you have a guy like Malachi to learn under him. And not just that, I think you put him and Jesse and Malachi together. Ooh, that'd be nice. That's just me. I wouldn't be upset. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be upset if they get a safety, a corner, a linebacker, or a edge, because I'm like, this defensive class is actually really talented.
Right.
So, all right. So, if you haven't saw, the Mavs did the craziest thing. They traded Luka in the middle of the night for Anthony Davis. They got what they got. There ain't no way that was the return you would get if you really tried to trade Luka.
Right.
And then the first game back, Anthony Davis is a monster, playing, but he's balling out, doing all kinds of stuff, and then he pulls the biggest Anthony Davis, his abductor or groin grip, I don't know, but he's on the IL. And then it's like, okay, well, they can still make the playoffs. They got a fighting chance. You got Kyrie. Now Kyrie's out with an ACL. So, I ask, can a team be cursed, a.k.a. like the Mavs with Luka? So, and, we'll throw it around. Ron, go for it.
Hey, y'all seen the movie The Color Purple?
Oh God, I'm afraid where you going.
Yeah, I'm not even going to answer because I have, and there's a lot of ways he could go. So
yeah, I know. I'm with
so
yeah, hold on, Ladarius, I'm with you. Here we
I've seen the
go.
movie. Hell, I've even read the book. So
Buckled in.
Everybody in the comments, let me know you seen the movie Color Purple.
If you have, just get a thumbs up or something.
Give me a thumbs up. Hey, y'all seen it?
Can you guess the scene? Da-da-da.
Yeah. When I do like this, what does that mean?
Oh, we know.
Luke,
right.
right. Luka looking at Dallas Mavericks. Till you do right by me, everything that you touch before, like a paper shed or a chair outside, till you do right by me, everything you see in Dallas will crumble. Till you do right by me, ain't no more winning seasons, ain't no more nothing for the Dallas Mavericks.
You put the thing on them.
Yeah. Look like Whoopi Goldberg, hey, you gotta do right by me. If y'all don't, well, this will happen. Do I feel bad for Luka? Yes, because he wanted to stay in Dallas. That's what everybody don't realize. And I think you said, see, somebody like Luka, you were supposed to get more for him if you would have traded Luka.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to get a first, a second on some players. Now, we say on Talk Your Ears, it's such a born every day. Maybe the Lakers just seen the GM or the owner for Dallas Mavericks that sucker.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you know what? Let me go and get Luka off of your hand. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. He this, he that. Y'all don't know what to do with him. But yeah.
Look, the phone call, Dallas made the phone call. That's how it started. So it wasn't
Right.
It wasn't like the Lakers were like, we need to get Luka. Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Oh yeah. No, they were like, wait, you want? Yeah, we'll give you Anthony Davis.
Right. So it like now the Lakers were in second in the West. They could really do something this year. So in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I got to say.
Yeah. All right, Ladarius. I think we dodged a bullet with Ron because you know how Ron gets.
Yeah,
on this.
we did. We got nicked a little bit on the shoulder, but we're okay. We're okay. It's a flesh wound, folks.
Yeah, just a flesh wound, folks.
Just run a commercial or two. We'll be back. We'll get stitched up. Teams can absolutely be cursed. Here's the thing. Like look how long it took the Red Sox to win their first World Series. Just the others. Like, look at the Cubs. Like, here's the thing. Curses exist when a trade like this sets back your franchise at least maybe 5 to 10. Because here's the thing. The age difference is what makes this trade look worse.
Mm-hmm.
Luka is getting into his prime. You're you trade for Anthony Davis, who's been injury prone. I can't remember last time he played a full season. And this guy was the same age as your star player in Kyrie Irving in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I read, which I thought was hilarious, and maybe it's true or not, they traded Luka because of his conditioning. My guy, he's not even 30. He's 20. Conditioning?
What?
That's the concern for Anthony Davis. I feel like we got this all mixed up. And like, respectfully, like he get the Mavericks. I'd argue this. They got blessed, and I believe they traded for. I think in the draft, it was the draft day trade between them and the Hawks, and I think the Hawks got. Listen,
we got Trae Young, and we had an extra first round pick from them.
So
and that was Cam Reddish.
And so people are like, oh, the comparison. Oh, look. Here's the thing. You don't see the Hawks going around trying to trade Trae Young,
right? And
saying, oh man, no. You don't trade a guy who's your franchise.
Mm-hmm.
If Luka was the second, third player on his team, I wouldn't be upset. But he was clearly the best player on the team. He was the face of the franchise. So what are we doing here? And we're talking about collusion. No, here's the thing. It's a funny story because there was a third team in that trade, the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh god, this is the funny part.
And then Rob Pelinka, the GM of the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, see, he never said who the player was that they were. He never mentioned that they got like Jalen Hood-Schifino and a couple of second rounders. And the GM of the Utah Jazz is Danny Ainge.
Yeah,
this man's not supposed to like the Lakers. This guy is a Celtic, and when he found out, he tried to, but it was too late. The deal was already done.
Mm-hmm.
He would have never helped the Lakers if it meant like
yes.
It's
Go
like,
ahead.
oh, by the way, oh yeah, we're getting that player. Oh yeah, Luka. Like, wait, what? And it was too late. And listen, it's hilarious. If you read the article, it's because Danny Ainge genuinely did not know that they were trying to trade for Luka. And listen, here's what's worse, and I'll say this before I wrap it up. Here's what's making it worse. Nico Harris, the general manager of the Mavericks. Listen. Mark Cuban's not running the data operation of the Mavericks anymore.
Yeah, he's not.
No.
So that should let you further know he was shocked because he didn't. And it's like, oh really? Like that's like Mark Cuban's like, isn't that the guy I traded for? I swapped with like he would have been fine with either Trey or Luka. He just preferred Luka, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But either way, the man, Mark Cuban, he had a great problem. Keep Trey or trade, or swap the rights with Atlanta to get Luka. He would have been set for a decade and a half. So when Mark Cuban, the guy who makes the deal, finds out, oh, we're trading the best player, arguably we've had since Dirk. Yeah, we're gonna trade him to LA for Anthony Davis. Like
street clothes.
Anthony Davis hasn't been healthy since he was with the Pelicans. That's all you need to know. Why do you here's the thing. And for the Lakers, look at all the Lakers gave up to get Anthony Davis. And they're like, okay, we got to get some. And they end up getting up Luka. And then notice how the odds for the NBA Finals changed when they got Luka. So something to think about. I'm done. Something to think about.
Okay, can a team be cursed? Yes. I mean, hell, a lot of us think we're cursed sometimes with our teams.
Right.
Here's the thing about Luka. I wasn't a big fan about Luka. But when I saw this deal, and I'm just going, LA did it again. It's almost like they fell forward because they got a guy that is basically going to be the face of their franchise for the next whatever amount of years. And all they had to do was give up a guy that can't play, that doesn't, stay healthy. And, does it make them weak with the center position? Yeah, but they're working around that. They're getting guys. But the thing is, I'm just like going, this team, the Lakers, still, this is almost like comedy because, they had Kareem Abdul, they had Magic, and then they get Worthy, then they get Kobe, Shaq, and it's like, this team doesn't superly dip bad. I mean, they kind of have a small one, but then they still find a way to rebound.
Right.
But my God. And then Nico Harrison, you should never talk to the media. I mean, homeboy, hold on. First of all, he goes to the game where the Mavericks play. At the Lakers. And the crowd is thanking you. They're not booing you. They're thanking you. Homeboy probably wanted to stand up and go, "You're welcome. I love y'all. You're the best." Oh, wait, just not Dallas? Oh.
Then at this moment, soon he got back to Dallas.
Yeah.
At this moment, Nico been fired.
Look, all I know is this. I don't know how long that man's going to keep the job because the ownership is not Mark Cuban. And they wanted to move to L.A. They were blocked, and they're like, you're going to pay. And if this is like the collusion comment that, give me a minute, that Millie brought up, he is so right.
Yes.
He wasn't healthy either. Yeah. What's up, Dalton?
What's up, Dalton?
So, yeah, I mean, look, my thing is this. Teams can be cursed. And the Mavericks are it right now. But in football, I've always thought the Chargers, the Browns, the Falcons, hate to say it like that, but, look, when you have a 28-3 lead and you don't close, guess what?
What?
You're going to be the laughing stock. It always is. I mean, but there are teams that wear that. And, we could talk about every team that we've seen in our lifetime. Like Ladarius brought up the Cubs, the Red Sox. And you know, for the longest time, man, people thought, you know, the Braves were because, you know, yeah, we got to that point, but we could never get over the hump
Right.
until '95, and then we won another one in 2021. But you know, now we're kind of in it again. But it's one of those that, God, when you see the Luka stuff, and you're just going,
Mm.
they're the number 2 team in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Luka and LeBron, they've woken LeBron up. This may have
Mhm.
been like him diving into the fountain of youth, teaming
Mm-hmm.
up with Luka. And you know, I'm not, you know, you can say whatever you want about LeBron, and we have.
Right.
But when it comes to playing in the NBA, he's there to play. And man, the playoffs are going to be scary to watch those two. If they can stay healthy throughout, watch. Luka and LeBron are going to, like I said, it's going to be. The NBA is praying that they get the Western Conference Final, the Lakers versus Golden State. That's what they want. And then they want Lakers versus Boston. I'm telling you. And can't even be mad at that, actually. But yeah, this is God. And Dallas just gave it to them. That's the crazy part. It was the Western Conference team that hooked them up in their own division.
How about that?
I know. That's like us making a deal with the Saints, and we take it off, you know.
And what I heard a while back, shout out to my other co-host, Shannon Merlin on Talk Your Ish. She said the people on Dallas Mavericks, they wanted to move to Las Vegas.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
But I guess somebody told them you can't move the team. And she was like, okay, shout out to Bit Low Country, Atlanta Falcons podcast. She was like, oh yeah, look what I could do. And she traded Luka to,
or she authorized the deal. And
right,
I mean,
she authorized the deal to the Lakers. So
yeah, it's crazy. It is so crazy on that one, man. I'm telling you. All right. Well, it's time. We're going to give the floor to Mr. Ladarius Brown, Mr. Laddie Daddy. Hold on. I see a little message board, so let me just check. Oh, he's on a phone call. Okay, no problem, Ladarius. Just let me know when you're done. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to just arrange this real quick. Let's see. Make sure I got, okay. Ron, if you would like, go ahead and hit us up with your rant, bro. Go ahead and tell us what you, what's got you going. What, you know, this is basically anything you want to talk about. So go ahead and go for it.
My man, and we talked about it a little bit already. My man is why every year somebody talk bad about draft players. Let me say it like that. They always come out with a rumor about a draft player, and it don't make no sense. Always. Since I've been watching the draft, the combine, it always been something come out about the players. A part of me said the players need to stay to yourself. You losing money when this stuff come out. You fall in the draft. A part of me say that, and another part of me saying, you know what? Stop it. Stay at home. Don't go nowhere. Don't go out. Don't do nothing. Stay at home, and you won't be going through this. So I just said both sides, and if I wish I could play football again, I pray to God sometimes you just see the potential in these football players, and sometimes you be like, "Why you did that?
Mm-hmm.
You what? You can't keep your hands to yourself. What? Why? Why you do some of the stupid that you do, and you know the owners, the GM will do a background check. You already know this.
Yeah.
So why you gonna put yourself in that predicament so this can come out? I think Millie Mill said about somebody back in the day, I think played for the Texas. The what's her name?
Tunsil.
Yeah,
Jeremy
Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
When that came out, it shocked the hell out of me. I ain't see that coming for a mile away. But when it came out, you sometimes you got to be like, really? He said, "His these not my words, this his."
Mm-hmm.
He says somebody out to get him, then found out he said his stepdad did it, then it all over money. Sometimes, what about take accountability for your own actions? What about that? What about just don't do that? What about that? So you could, so it won't be coming out. You did this on this day, this time. What about take accountability for your own actions? How about that?
I mean, I will say this though: he's played a long career.
Yes.
He's made some good money, and he's a good player. So you
He
know what? He
right,
got through that, and he made it where that's more of a footnote than a
right,
statement about his career.
right.
So you know,
I mean,
I get what you're saying, and I think. Go ahead and keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean because this is your rant.
yeah, stupid. What about just don't do that?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't got to worry about, well, will this come out? Will it mess up my money? What everybody, a lot of people don't know when you get drafted in the first round, they're top money. And when you get drafted in the lower round, you losing money if you're a first round pick.
Yeah.
Everybody don't know that.
Yeah. No, I mean the money. You don't get paid the same as if you were a 31st pick than
Right.
you were a first round pick or first overall pick. So yeah,
Right.
you're right.
So you losing money. What about just don't do drugs? Or just say no. How about that?
Or don't video yourself.
Or don't video yourself smoking. What about that? Take accountability for your own actions. I know you're a kid. I know that. We all made some stupid mistakes in our lifetime. But when you trying to go to the NFL, it's a blessing, a privilege to go to the NFL and take care of your family for the next 10, 15, 20 years, how long you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
It is a blessing to go to the NFL. Trust me, I wanted to go. And when I see dudes make this kind of mistake, I'll get mad because it's a blessing, a privilege to go to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And when you messing up, I'll be like, you see what? Now you messing up for a lot of people. Now they can do a lot more research on these players.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me see here. Let me get this. So to quote Peter Griffin, you know what really grinds my gears? Kiki Raheem Morris wanting to be everyone's friend, smiling, kissing babies. That's what really grinds my gears. I had to try to say it like him. And then let's see. Ron, is cause these kids only worried about likes and followers, bro. Now, and look, I can also say this: what we done in the past, or when we were young, our present day selves would look at ourselves and go, "What the hell were you thinking?"
Right.
So it's not like we're immune to this, It's so, and the whole accountability thing. I want to just speak on. I think he has, because look at the career he has. He's made it work where he's being known for the work he does on the field and maybe off
Right.
the field too, because
Right.
he's one of those captains too.
Right.
And he makes sure and does everything for the guys and
Right.
plays. And he's one of the top tackles. So
Yeah.
that's the type of guy. When I think about him, I actually think of the success he's had, where he's earned that. So
Right.
but I appreciate your rant. So, all right, Ladarius, welcome back. Are you ready for your fact or fiction?
Yeah, I am. Sorry about that. I take a
Oh, you
personal
are
call.
totally fine. We
Yeah, I
were able
did.
to adjust, so we
Sorry
got
about
you.
that. So
We got Ron
they-
doing a rant, so we were able to go for
yeah,
it.
I heard some of it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stack my papers.
All right, folks, let's throw it to Ladarius Brown. This is Mr. Laddie Daddy's fact or fiction.
The Ladster. Oh my God.
Somewhere Carrie is dancing in her meeting.
Yeah.
Just jumped up, started dancing, and while they were talking.
Right.
So why should we give you the job?
And you see today's quarterly numbers. Bum, 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 bum.
Love you, Carrie. All right, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, once again, let's apologize, guys, for
Yeah, I did.
for delay.
Bro, we got
No,
you.
I like to apologize because the show. But okay, so I added a bonus one, so there's 4. So fact or fiction, Drew Dolman will walk and become a free agent this offseason. So to add context, he's probably going neighborhood of $14 million a year. Falcons cap space is 29th, 30th in the league. So at the bottom of the league. So the question, so fact or fiction, Drew Dolman will walk. He'll leave the Falcons and become a free agent this offseason.
Go ahead, Ron.
Fiction. I don't think he's going nowhere.
Really?
I really think Terry feel like I drafted you, and we want you here. And yes, everybody deserves to get money, but it's hard to find a good center these days. Yvette, and shout out to the Jets. I mean, they've been going through hell with their center. They had not found no good one in years. So it's hard to find a center that do everything you want him to do, in my opinion. That me watching from afar. So I think he's staying with us, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say fact. He's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, look. He gone. Just like the song. She's gone. Well, he gone. I saw that, John. Yeah. Look, he gone because here's the thing: money talks, BS walks. And you just said the Jets, the Bears. There's a lot of teams that's going to have the cap space and money to even hype on. Yeah, we're saying 14, but guys, we'll see the real price when they start signing these deals.
Correct.
Right.
So I think the Falcons' intent is going to want to keep him, but when they see the money, there's no way we're going to be able to match it. And like I said, we haven't really seen the Falcons do any deals where, hey, this guy's going to be, we got cap space. We haven't had that yet. So, we'll have, we're still waiting. So I'm going to say Drew Dolman will be an ex-Falcon.
All right. Fact or fiction. Fact or fiction number 2. Jesus Christ. Like this song, but instead of He's gone. Oh. I couldn't pay the money. He's gone. Oh.
I don't remember who sang that. Was that Mike McDonald?
I think it was Hall & Oates.
It may be in Hall & Oates. It may be. For some
We
reason, I was
didn't
thinking
have many money. He's gone. Oh. We stuck with Ryan Needle. Okay, yeah, all right, we're done. if you're listening, Ryan Needle, I apologize. But fact or fiction? We kind of hit on this earlier, but fact or fiction? The Falcons will draft at least one wide receiver in the 2025 NFL draft. So, fact or fiction? The Falcons will draft at least one wide receiver in this year's NFL draft. Let's start with let's go with you, Ron.
Fiction. I don't believe it, but this is the Atlanta Falcons. So.
And if you're in the chat, you can chime in as well. So Ron, you're going with a very profound fiction.
Yeah.
C-Dub?
with our present draft capital, I'm gonna say fiction. Or what was it? You're saying
That they will draft at least one wide receiver in this year's draft.
Okay. I'm going to say fiction. I'm going to actually say they won't draft a receiver because of the limited draft capital.
Okay.
Throwing that out there because,
I see.
we only got
we
like
got John says, "Oh, John said that's a
that's a fact, Jack.
yeah." But when that other guy said it, I'm not. No comment.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
It took me back to Huggy Bear and Starsky and Hutch when he says it.
Right. Back in the early 60s.
Driving a Dodge Charger, solving crimes around the city.
Right.
When your informant is giving up I'm not gonna get into it. It's a family show. If you want more, go to Patreon, donate $5 a month for more.
For our secret conversations.
The ones you don't hear on the show.
Right.
There's plenty that will never
Yeah,
happen.
a lot.
We're recording those now.
Too many. Okay. All right. So our third question is this is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons will draft a kicker in this year's NFL draft. So, fact or fiction, the Falcons will draft a kicker in this year's NFL draft.
Fiction.
Who's available as a kicker? I mean, is the Georgia guy up there in there?
I don't think he's coming out yet.
Okay, because if he was, I would say, well, maybe. But I'll say fiction for now.
I say fiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Ray Finkel.
Come on, John. Oh boy, John.
They're John for you.
Yeah, John don't miss. Go ahead, brother.
Oh boy. So the one fun. This is kind of like a bonus question. This is it's a Atlanta-based question. I'm in Florida, so I have no horse in the game. So I feel free to ask the question. So, fact or fiction, the Falcons will make it to the Super Bowl before the Hawks make it to the NBA Finals. The Falcons will make it to the Super Bowl before the Hawks make the NBA Finals. Is that a fact or is that fiction?
My God.
See, I got Ron leaning back. That means I think I did a great job.
Yeah, because I'm doing the same thing too.
Because Ron's sitting up, I'm like, I didn't do a great job. When he's leaning back, it rubbed. Yeah, I think I did all right.
Oh man.
I'm a Hawks fan. Ooh. Ooh.
John.
He keeps doing the ooh. He's like me. It's like, man, God, why gotta put it like that? That's
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I feel it was legitimate.
That is a good one. Fiction.
Oh yeah. Also, my magic. Oh man. Oh, is Millie from Florida? Are you from Florida, Millie? Is he based out of Florida, or he's just a Magic fan? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, Millie, your location, please.
I said fiction.
Fiction, okay.
Out them Hawks, here.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, now I'm just a Magic fan. Okay.
Yeah, listen.
Oh,
A healthy Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner duo.
They
It's a great time
good.
when they're
They
healthy.
need
They're
point
pretty
guard,
good.
they still need a point guard. So
Don't worry,
All
we'll
right.
get Airbud. Don't worry about Airbud's.
Ron, what did you say?
fiction.
So he's saying that the Falcons won't make it to the.
Well, here's my problem. It's like I know I'm like John. Ain't no way with Raheem the Falcons making no damn Super Bowl. But we're saying who makes it first? Do the Hawks?
Right. So yeah.
Finals.
So I'm not saying Kiki.
Okay,
I'm not saying
okay.
Raheem won't has to be the guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
will happen
All right.
first before the Hawks make the. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna actually say fact. I'm gonna say the Falcons will make the Super Bowl before the Hawks make the finals. It's a lot tougher to make the finals. So
Is it though?
look with this. Look, we got Landry Fields, who still doesn't even know he's a GM apparently. Because he doesn't really make two. I will give him credit about the Daniels trade because that boy could steal the ball, but it would be nice if we could get an all-star next to Trey.
Right. But I look at the East is a lot easier, in my opinion, than the West to make it to the finals. In my opinion, you got maybe.
I'm also putting in the refs' feet because they could take
Oh.
out Trey any time.
Yeah,
After
I
what
forgot
happened,
about that.
You know.
Good one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, the referee took out Trey, so I mean I can't really forget about that. Better shot up beating Happy Gilmore and call,
What?
especially when Orlando's in your division. I'm just saying. And Orlando's tough too. I ain't gonna front.
That Magic song is real catchy. I like it when we win. We can get that. Play that song. Oh man, I'm not gonna sing it because I want the Magic mascot at my front door. You can't sing that.
All right. So you got anything else, Ladarius?
Nope. That is fact or fiction. Thank you guys for answering the question. Thank you guys in the chat for participating. Much appreciated.
All right. Well, Ladarius, it is now your time for your rant. We've had Carrie
What?
speak on hers. Ron's done his, and now it's your turn.
Me in a rant. I don't know. My fellow Americans. No. That's
Let's
What,
steer away from Canada and the U.S. after what happened.
What?
my colleague Ron Thomas, who's the future secretary. Why are you sending him everywhere? Because he says the things that I can say and I don't want to say.
Mhm.
I'll just say refer to that speech he made, and that pretty much sums up our policy. Thank you.
Mhm.
So excuse me, there's food in the hall, but for me, the president, you guys are snacks over there in the corner. Thank you.
What? Right on.
I don't know what's a random. Oh, okay. I had an idea for a rant. Okay, I'll go back to the one I had initially in my head.
Okay.
It's the concept of storytelling, and to me, C-Dub knows if you guys watch, now name WrestleTake, you see that sign behind my colleague there.
Mhm.
Always plugging, always moving. As I talk about on there, I talk about the importance of storytelling in wrestling, but also there's storytelling importance in sports in general.
Mm.
And sometimes I think when we tell a story, no matter what fan of a team you are or who you support, a great story brings together people. And just like, even good, better, and different. I'm not going to jump into the political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give you an example. Look at the Eagles. You had people who would have never rooted for Eagles for 1,000 years, but they came together because they did not want to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs with a third straight Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could come together that way, or when something happens to a player, or storytelling. It makes you root for the underdog. It makes you root for someone who you would probably never root for. And I think what makes, I think one of the things that great about sports in our country is that we can rally behind a great story. And when I look at the world of sports, when I look at when we're celebrating greatness, like when like LeBron like 50,000 points, no one's ever touching that record. No one's ever, because that it's based on longevity. It's based on a lot of factors. So penultimately, whether we root for LeBron or we don't, you're always going to watch, because the story of his career playing out for over 2 decades has been fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And there are just some players that you don't want to watch, and there's some, but there's still a story to be told. I guess my overriding rant is let a story be told before you try to write it yourself, because a lot of us, even with our lives, when you have the pen to your story, you control the story. When you give up that pen to somebody, they write your story any way they want to. In sports, in a way, we all kind of have our pen in how we write the story, how we perceive something. Like whether you love or hate LeBron, you can't ignore his greatness. Whether you love or hate the Chiefs, we can't deny how great they were before that Super Bowl. Or when it could be something personal as well. Don't let anybody take away your story. You keep your pen, because if you give your pen to somebody, they write your story. And years later, you're like, well, that's not my story. That's why you watch certain documentaries, watch certain things. When people tell their stories, it's their truth. And I've always said this: you cannot tell somebody who's wrong when they're telling their truth. You can't say, oh, you're wrong, because it's their truth. We can argue about sky is blue and there's certain things what we can't argue about. We can't argue about certain things, like how a story's being told. Well, who's telling the story? Because that's always going to be important in how we talk about it years from now. How we talk about LeBron today will be talked about 20 years from now. How we talk about, hell, even the Falcons, how we talk about them, it's going to be talked about for the next 20 years. Mm-hmm. It's who's telling the story and who's writing the story. Mm-hmm. And so that's my little rant. I don't want to go too long, but that's my rant. Just the importance of storytelling and understanding how we write the story as people can make a huge difference for the future. So let's be careful. I guess it's the caution of how we write the story. Because whether you love or hate LeBron, whether you love or hate whatever team or whatever, understand, don't let anybody take your pen and let them write your story. You write it for yourself. Yeah. And that's what makes sports great in that regard, is that you have the pen to write your story. Don't somebody take your narrative and say how they feel about it. So that's my little rant. It's not Ron's rant. That's an Emmy Award winning rant segment he has. Mine just comes after that in the background. It's like working the late shift. So Ron center stage, I'm the guy in the back, just comes in after Ron, like, wait, folks, there's more to talk about. So that's me. So that's my little mini rant.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all good. And that's why we have Ladarius. That was Mr. Laddie Daddy. So yeah, that's Mr. Laddie Daddy. Want to say big thanks to Miss Carrie for being on the show. Also, big shout out to Ron for being here, and Ladarius. You guys are my family. I love you guys. Big ups to y'all. Now it's time for C-Double's thoughts. Basically, where I wrap up the show and just tell you, what I've been cooking on. So here we go. And we'll answer that, Millie, in a second. So my thought is this, we're looking at the draft. It's all part of the process. Now, this is where we need to see our Falcons actually start making some moves, as in, because of the salary situation we're in, you've got to either extend guys, you got to, let guys go, whatever. And we have to understand this. This is where we could say it's a business. It's not personal. You gotta do what's best for the team. We talked about Grady being the face of the team. Well, I could tell you that some of us will say, yeah, he's the face, but the success hasn't been behind him as much.
Right.
That's, and it's a valid point. My feeling is this: make the right moves, please. Please get the right guys. You know, if you're serious about contending, you need to make these moves and try to open some salary cap. And look, I'm not saying re-sign Drew Dahlman at all costs. I'm saying try to get guys that are going to fit this team. You don't need a whole lot of big names. This team is actually pretty good. You just need some guys that's going to be able to lead and kind of get these guys in line. Get a good experienced linebacker. Now the Eagles just re-signed Braun, so he's not going to be available.
Right.
So you got to at least look at what's out there. I know Justin Reed's available. The Chiefs letting him go. I'm looking at we just talked about Darius Slay.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the Falcons can make some good moves that can help the team. But I'm also going to say this. This goes out to all Atlanta teams. All right, we got the Hawks coming in. Please win some games. Take these games. Do what you can to win. Let's get out of the play-in. We are Mr. Play-in, and I'm tired of seeing that. Trey doesn't need to be in that anymore. Let's move up. All right. Well, Darius brought up how they should not look at trading Trey, and I say the same thing. But the problem is, people always want to trade him. And it's like, again, what do you want from him? This year, he's doing everything he can. And he's still, you got to have some guy to be there to help. So, if you all are. Yeah, if you are. TF, you are. Look, we're not trading him to Orlando. No, we're not doing what the Mavericks do to the Lakers. We're not hooking you up. I swear to God, Terry, or whoever, Landry, don't you dare. Whoopee. Till you do right by us, we will make sure that's on you. Yeah, but I'm hoping that we can just have a good playoff. Because I'm going to tell you, Tyson Daniels from New Orleans has been a godsend. He's been a guy. This is what DeAndre Murray was supposed to be.
What?
You got Dyson Daniels, who is making plays, who plays defense, can pass the ball. You got Levert, who's been really good scoring. I don't like Yang because I think I can make more stops than that guy. But anyway,
me too.
But honestly, this team can make some moves, or can do something to get into the playoffs. That'd be fun. We really need a playoff run. Don't hook up freaking Santonio anymore that they already are. The Grand Barrier Thief, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love watching him play. He's grown on me. I'm so glad Trey would be dangerous. He already says he likes. Yes, we know, Millie, but yeah, no, we're not doing that, Millie. We're not talking about that, Millie. It's like, why don't you just ask me if we could trade him to the Miami Heat? No, we're not.
No.
Well, Jimmy Butler's gone, so that definitely won't happen now. Anyway, but so yeah, there you go. There. So those are just my thoughts. It's like our teams need to just give us something to just get excited. I'm not asking us to get in the finals. I'm not asking us to win all the championships. I just need something. Give me something to believe in. The Falcons, until Kiki Ra is not around and Terry Fontenot's not around, that dumb ball son of a bitch, as Ron called him. All I got to say is this. You got to do something. This is your last chance year. I don't care what anyone says. I don't see these guys lasting another year, especially if they just do the same thing over and over. So defense has got to look better. You got to be able to get some guys. And like I said, I don't see Dahlman coming back. I can see him going for more money because I don't know how we're going to be able to get it. because we haven't even gotten enough to, sign some guys.
Right.
So we'll see. So now Kerry said this Monday is the first official day of tampering, correct?
What I heard, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
believe,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
okay.
Elite. I mean,
Yeah.
You did talk to players right now, but you got to wait till Monday to, I think,
Okay.
sign.
You got to let these players know not to be a Kirk Cousins. Anyway.
Thank you.
So March 12th, I believe, is the first day of the off season, right?
Yes.
Of free agency.
Yes.
So the 13th, we're going to do a show. Hopefully, we'll have some news. Obviously, we will because people will be signing by then.
Hopefully.
But yeah, hopefully. And then, well, I'm saying people, other teams, basically. I hate to say it like
Right.
that. So we'll discuss that. We're going to be all over it. We'll also be talking about NCAA because the tournament's coming up. Georgia's been playing pretty good to the point that now Lenardi has said they're in. I kind of would like Georgia to finish the drill, beat the team, and then at least win one game in the tournament. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the team of 68 and see how that looks. And because guys, March is going to be full of sports stuff, so I look forward to it. I hope y'all are. So we'll talk about that. NBA probably will still be firing off, doing some crazy stuff. And I'm going to tell you, even though I may not like LeBron, that man can still ball. And at 42,
yeah,
it's a legit factor that this man and Luka can win a championship this year. That is wild to me. He would be, I think, the second person to win a championship in his 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah.
Next, I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm wrong, just please let me know. But yeah, I remember hearing something like that. So, all right. Well, guys, plug your stuff. Tell the good people where they can find you or shout out whatever you want. Ron, start with you.
First, I would like to say that shout out to the fans in the comments. Thank you for waking up and watching us. You could be anywhere, but you chose to watch us today. So shout out to the fans. And you can find me on Talk Your Ish on Tuesday nights around 8 o'clock. We go in, we talk about football and basketball, and we keep it 100 on that. So I'm not gonna. You can find me on the eye test Wednesday nights around maybe 10, 11, something like that. You can also find me on Pops and the Henry Brothers on Thursday nights around 8 o'clock, somewhere like that. What else? But that's it. So
all right, cool.
Like and share the show, and thank you.
Yeah, and guys, Ron is out there, so definitely check him out. He really does put his heart, especially Talk Your Ish. He's really a big factor there. Check out Ron's questions. Dennis is there. They have a good show, and Chocolate Girl's always around, so they do a good job out there. So mad love for them. And yeah, F the Heat. All right, Ladarius, let's go to you. Shout outs and plug your stuff, brother.
Just want to shout out. Put my mic down. Shout out to the chat, to all of you guys for watching. Millie, John, I think Sterling was in here. Just all of you who contributed. Much appreciated. Thanks to you, C-Dub, Ron. Thank you so much, Carrie as well. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at Ladarius_Brown, Ladarius_Brown on Instagram. A writer and editor for Beyond Women's Sports. March Madness is around is here more or less with the conference tournaments taking place, and with the Selection Sunday around the corner. I don't know if I may not do a pop-up podcast this Friday, but I'll definitely do one next week, and we'll be talking basketball. We'll be talking March Madness. We'll be talking a little NFL, and whatever you guys talk about. So I might put a situation where you guys can ask me questions, because and then have like a little mental free fall if you guys have questions for me or anything or anything else that's on your mind. So looking forward to that. But once again, thank you guys. Thank you to chat. Great show. All. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
All right, awesome. Before you guys leave, Millie did ask this, and I said we would address it because we were just doing our stuff, and I just remembered. So, best landing spot for DK. Ladarius, what do you think? And then Ron, what do you think?
The best landing spot to me, I think of two teams. I think of the Chargers. I think of the Packers. If I were, given that, even though Davante Adams is out there, I think I would lean toward DK. To me, if you ask me right now, one team, I would say the Chargers.
Okay. What say you, Ron?
It depends. Do he want to win a Super Bowl? Or do he want to get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen players say they want to get paid and go to a bad team. But we also seen a player that said he want to win and go to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I don't never want them really good, but shout out to the Patriots. They got the money, they got the cap. What about the Patriots? But it go back to what I just said. Do he want to win Super Bowl? If he do, what about Pittsburgh? I just see he going over there. They need a number one wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like George Pickens, but let's be honest. He got an attitude problem. If DK Metcalf put his attitude to the side and go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they will be working with Grease over there. In my opinion.
And Ladarius went and dropped out, but I'll go ahead and just say my thoughts. I liked his thought about the Packers and Chargers, and I like your thought about Pittsburgh. But the first team that popped in my head, Baltimore.
Ooh.
You give a strong coach. You have, I know there's been issues with Harbaugh where people are like, well, maybe he needs to be looked at. But look, one thing we all can agree. It would benefit Lamar if he had a legit number one.
Mm-hmm.
Put DK Metcalf on that field with him.
Ooh.
Along with Henry, along with Lamar, you have Zay Flowers. You would have, and you see the tight ends they got.
Mm-hmm.
Likely and Adam, and I think they're still there. So, yeah.
Well, no, they finna let him go too.
Okay. But so I
was reading. So,
just real quick, Ladarius, I didn't know if you heard. I'm gonna say the Ravens. I think the Ravens would be the best fit with Harbaugh, with Mumpkin as the offensive coordinator. You've got, Henry, Lamar. Lamar never has a receiver like DK.
Ooh.
Next to Zay Flowers, and this would be one of those. Hey, we keep getting close. We need to win it now.
What?
They could be a team to watch for. I mean, if not DK, you could look at Davante Adams, but I think DK would be a fit, and the Seattle would not be trading in the NFC.
What?
Because I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking of an NFC team that could use them, and a team that pops in my head.
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hate their team. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want their team to win no more.
Yeah.
How about Dallas?
No, I don't think Dallas would. I think too much up in the air with them. You have CeeDee Lamb already.
But
and my thing is this: I think if you get DK Metcalf, a team that could really benefit, Heck, the 49ers, because they already let Debo go. Well, but
They
then that's in division, so no.
right. You don't want to
Yeah, I
trade
know.
in your
I just
division.
thought of that.
Right.
Shoot.
How about guys? What if the Falcons trade Pitts to Seattle and we land DK Pitts?
I don't know.
I
I don't know if Seattle would do that. I mean,
see that issue right there because
man, throwing us all these questions while we're trying to sign off. I love it.
mean I don't really like DK like that.
Yeah,
You
me
know
too.
what?
Well, my thing is this: I look at when I hear guys wanting to trade, I look at like DK and I just go, okay, where would he go where he kind of can get straightened out and maybe
Right.
better off? I think I love the Steelers. I like the Chargers with
Right.
Harbaugh.
See,
To me, the Chargers and the Ravens, though, I think would be really beneficial.
with the Chargers, they drafted a wide receiver over there,
Mm-hmm.
and he had not done that. In
Well,
my opinion.
true. No, true. But now think of DK being there. You have Ladd on the second, and then that Quentin Johnson. I think that's the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Now you have a different feel of it, and the pressure's not as much on that guy, and you could work more with DK and Ladd because Ladd's going to be
Ladd
gonna really help him out.
I wish we could have got Ladd, to be honest with you. I like it. But that's another story for another day.
What do you
think? I can see that now.
Yeah. What do you think, Ladarius?
From a financial standpoint, I don't see how you can pull it off. To me, I think if I've always said this: if we move from Kyle Pitts, which if we do, there's other options to go to for teams. Because listen, teams need tight ends, and there's only 2, maybe 3 that you would get in the first. I still lean into with Colston Loveland from and I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but there's 2 of them. And you got an Arroyo from Miami is very interesting there as well.
And one from Penn State.
Yeah,
for Tyler Warren. I got it in my head now. Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. Those are the 2 guys projected first rounders. So there's teams that could be looking for tight ends.
Right.
So I would look at Seattle fits that to a T. But the question is, how would given our cap situation, could we even get a DK Metcalf?
Yeah,
that's the question, because Seattle's the team that needs a tight end because it'd be an upgrade from Noah Fant. But the question is, how would getting DK Metcalf, how would that look? How offense would be fantastic, but our needs are on defense.
Yeah,
so there could potentially be picks or something on the conversation we could send to get back from Seattle, because Seattle could get picks back from when they trade DK Metcalf. So it could kind of work in that roundabout way.
Right.
I'm open to making a deal with Seattle if we're trading for draft picks with for Pitts. Not really wanting DK. For us, we don't. It's not that we don't need them. Like Ladarius says, our needs are more defensive. If we're talking about getting one of their linebackers or getting Kobe Bryant that plays for safety there, okay, we could talk. But I wouldn't. Yeah, what I would love to do is get Darnell Washington from the Steelers as like a backup tight end / fullback.
Right. Now you're talking.
Oh, just you can work a deal or something, But yeah, I would love to get someone like him because he would be somebody that you could do and get involved. And I'm like going, dude, could you imagine, that big guy being a red zone target too?
Right.
But yeah, I'm just saying. But man, guys, I love it when we keep cooking like this. But all right, it's past the overtime rule, so we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Want to thank everybody, Millie Mills, John Brooks. You guys were chatting it up. We appreciate y'all. We had Dalton Smith join the party. We even had 3 Dirty came on in, Stephen Woods, April/Ron Thomas even showed up. StreamYard even showed up. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for being a part of the show. You make the show fun, and I hope y'all enjoyed the Morning Madness crew. Big thanks to Carrie again. We're going to try. Our goal is to do our show at 11, but we will have to be flexible because I want to make sure all 4 of us are together because, if it ain't us 4, who is it? We got it. That's how we are. We're the Fantastic Four, apparently. So, we want to thank you guys so much. So, hope y'all enjoy it. Enjoy the week. Watch sports. Have a good time. See you soon. Be plugged in. Check our Twitters at CAAWTN, at Ladarius_Brown. We'll get Ron's eventually. Carrie is at CARRIE Lynn XOX. So follow us on our socials. Would love for y'all to interact with the show. If you're watching afterwards, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. Let's see if we can get this thing growing. We would love to have y'all a part of it. And the only way it grows if we get people to share it. So here's how you do it. You tell a couple of your friends about it. Let them watch. They fall in love with us. Probably fall in love with Ladarius. He is the heartthrob of the team. Or Ron. He's kind of that, cute teddy bear guy, because that's what my wife says. He's the sweet. And I just keep laughing every time she says that. Like, you haven't been around Ron too much. And of course, Carrie is Carrie. So, we have much love for Carrie. We respect her. And then I'm just the old man in the group. So, look, we have it all covered for y'all. So, look, subscribe, and, hit us up. If you see a topic and you want us to talk about it, tweet us. Say, hey, what do y'all think about this? And we'll discuss it and go from there. So thank y'all so much. And yeah, we'll talk more basketball this go around. And I'm looking forward to the NCAA, actually. So with that being said, that's Ladarius, that's Ron, and I'm C Double. We're out. Peace.